Denny Hamlin continues to show the way here at Kentucky. His advantage over second place Jimmy Johnson, 1.4 seconds. And in the third position, it's Kyle Busch, who's led the most laps here tonight. And a moment ago on the radio, he was talking about horsepower. Listen to driver 18 just after the restart.
When you can exit off the bottom, side draft me, and clear me by turn 1, that's called under the hood.
Interesting words from Kyle, Chris.
Yeah, and I don't think it's all just under the hood right now, because after he hit the wall before that last caution, he said the car got tight. They tried to free it up on that last stop, but that car's still tight, so he's not able to commit to the throttle as soon as he was like. He's told the team, hey guys, sorry, this one is my fault. Dave Rogers on the radio telling him, hey bud, we're only halfway through this thing. We'll make that car better.
Kyle Busch talking about horsepower, and in the last few weeks, engine has been a dirty word in the 18 camp, Larry.
Well, it really has. When you think about it, they had 3 consecutive engine issues at Dover, Pocono, and Michigan. And every problem, Adam, was a different issue. It wasn't like it was just one thing that was plaguing these Joe Gibbs cars. But I think talking to Lee White with Toyota, they definitely got their arms around all of the issues, and they feel comfortable with it. But you have to believe they're not going to breathe a sigh of relief until they get through this 400-miler tonight and tear these engines apart to make sure everything still looks good.
Unless you can pull out and just pass somebody down the straightaway, it's always engine.
It's always
engine. Drivers are always going to complain about engine.
But I think the interesting thing is here, in the last 30 minutes of this race, throw in that pit stop. The 18 and the 2 have gone from being the dominant cars, and the 11 and the 48 have gone to being the dominant cars. And before that, it was exactly the opposite. So obviously there was a change there. There was a change in the weather and a change during that pit stop.
Third caution of the night, and these drivers may get a chance to work on their race cars again. Smoke out of the header pipes of Dave Blaney, the 36, making the hard left-hand turn into the Sprint Cup Series garage. So what are we thinking strategy-wise here, Larry?
Well, I can't help believe, if you go back to that last caution when all the drivers pitted at lap 126, we know for a fact about 10 or 12 drivers did 2 tires. I think they may have to go with 4 here, but you think about Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Carl Edwards, some of those drivers that changed forward the last caution, with no more laps than we've run here, they may now be able to go with just right side tires.
And this caution huge, Larry, for Casey Kane. Went a lap down, actually a couple of laps down early in this race, but has fought his way back to 1 lap down, and he is the recipient of the free pass here after making that unscheduled pit stop back at lap 52. Kane is 22nd right now in the running order. Top 5 as we get set for pit stops. Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Martin Truex Jr. Pit road is open. Ralph, here they come.
Martin Truex has only finished in the top 10 in 2 of the last 6 races, but that's where he's running right now. They're going to put 2 tires on this car, more right front air on this number 56 as he comes to a stop, Marty.
Darian Grubb was making a last-second call, either fuel only or 2 tires. You see, it'll be 2 tires for Denny Hamlin. No changes to the car. He's a little bit free into 1. Chris?
Well, the debate was 2 or 4 on the 18. They're deciding to go with 2 because they're not seeing anywhere on the left side. Also, chassis adjustment, trying to free this car up. Matt?
I mean, Jimmy Johnson hits his box. Another track bar adjustment, improving the car each segment. He will go 2 tires for the second straight stop.
And Matt, for the second consecutive time, it's going to be Denny Hamlin who comes off pit road and is able to grab the race lead. Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., the top 5. They all took 2 tires.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing from Kentucky, brought to you by Toyota Care, caring for you and your car. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Let's go inside the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by the Sprint Cup mobile app and truly unlimited data on the Sprint network. Fastest 4-tire stop tonight, Jeff Burton's gang, 12.1 seconds. Get live in-car audio and more on the Sprint Cup mobile Android app, only from Sprint. Learn more at sprint.com/speed. Denny Hamlin, the leader right now, is one of the drivers that's been out front after 11 lead changes tonight. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, both inside the top 5. And tell me what you notice when he exits pit road here.
Well, you watch Keselowski actually gets by him, but you'll watch how Kyle works the timing lines to his favor. He gunned it. He still stayed within the speed he was supposed to stay in, so he got no penalty, but that was huge because he got in front of the 2 car.
And when you measure pit road speed, it's not the old-fashioned state trooper on the side of the highway radar gun. It's time over distance with those timing lines on pit road, and Kyle Busch doing a nice job of playing the game there. When the caution came out, Clint Bowyer was 5th. He's 10th right now, Chris.
Adam, when you saw that replay there, as you saw the 18 and the 2 race off pit lane, you saw the 15 kind of stumble out of the box. He lost about 5 spots during that last stop. Reason being, he was in 3rd gear when he tried to exit the pit box.
Boy, it doesn't take much to lose a lot of spots on pit road with something like that, because everything is so close and these pit stops are so close. Something like that, you'll lose a bunch of time.
That's 4 spots. 4 spots right there, from where he was to where he is right now, which is amazing.
6 drivers took the waiver out here under caution. Landon Castle, Juan Pablo Montoya, Michael Waltrip, Bobby Labonte among those. Free pass, and it's huge. Casey Kane, who had a problem early, made an unscheduled pit stop, worked hard. He is back on the lead lap. 27 now on the lead lap. 153 of 267 completed Kentucky. Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson going to restart on the front row. Hamlin selecting the outside lane. That's Keselowski right behind him. Kyle Busch on the inside of row 2. Wow, look at Truex getting aggressive. Jimmy Johnson hanging tough for a moment on the inside lane.
Just hard to
make that corner.
It really is. It's hard to carry your speed down when you're on the inside. You get such an arc going in when you're on the outside. You can carry a lot of speed in. Jimmy Johnson's done it the best out of anybody tonight.
And we're going to see how strong this 48 is, because we heard the 18 driver, we heard Kyle Busch say, he gets down on the bottom, he can power up off the bottom, side draft me and drive past me. That's all under the hood. And he all but did that to the 11 car, which is obviously teammates to the 18.
Brad Keselowski's been in the mix all night long.
Jimmy really rolls right there when he's on the bottom. You see him, but he's just having to come up off the bottom and can't use the whole racetrack. Sometimes you need the whole racetrack to free your car up just that little bit.
Well, if you're gonna make it like this, and you've got to roll through the middle past the guy in order to pull that pass off, like Kyle says, because you've got to swing all the way out to the wall. So you've got to be better than the guy on the outside, getting in and through the middle. If you can't do it going through the middle, it's hard to complete the pass.
And these restarts are huge, Wally, because we've seen what an advantage it is when you get the top spot on a restart.
Well, any spot on a restart's huge, because this is the best your car is going to be, because you've got either 2 or 4 tires on, and you don't want to lose a lot of time to the leaders. I mean, once these front guys take off, if you're messing around back here trying to pass a bunch of guys, you can lose a couple of seconds a lap.
I'll tell you, Jimmy can't get around him, but he's hanging right there, better than we have seen recently on a green flag run.
You just look at like these 2 guys, the last lap were 174. You go back a little bit like where Earnhardt and Allmendinger is, they're 169 and 170. And that's because they're back there racing.
How about Jeff Gordon? He's back up inside the top 5. You can see him closing the gap. Jimmy Johnson less than 40 feet behind the race leader, Denny Hamlin.
And
Jimmy gets in the corner really strong.
Really good.
Yeah.
But he just can't, with the dirty air, he's in dirty air right now. He can't get his car in the position that he wants to get it in to be able to accelerate off the corner. When you're in this position that Jimmy is, you almost feel like your car's faster. If I could just get out front and get that clean air, I could drive away from this guy. We saw the 11 of Denny Hamlin do it to those guys on that last restart when they were running too wide. Denny had clean air, just drove away, and they never really caught back up. But right now, Jimmy Johnson is hammering that area right now.
I gotta tell you, this is fun to watch. Johnson hanging right with him. Little separation here, and this is about the point in a run where we've started to see the leader check out a little bit.
And you'll see the different lines, and a lot of that, Kyle, is what you're saying. The 48 will go to the bottom to get that clean air.
To get the clean air.
He wants it. He's trying to, make up some ground here, but he's trying to not to run in the same weird, tire tracks as the 11 car.
While these two are button heads at the front of the field, had a nice little moment back behind him. Joey Logano and Clint Boyer.
Well, he got tagged.
Actually, that was Newman that got him.
That was Newman right there.
I'll tell you what, both of those guys did a really good job not wrecking, because that was quite a shot.
What's in front of you?
That's all at about 167 or 170 miles per hour.
Right front fender.
I mean, that was all Ryan Newman right there. He just ran in the back of the 20 car and turned him dead left.
And Chris told us about the issue they had on pit road. When you put yourself back in traffic, that can create a problem. Let's go to Marty.
As you would imagine, Joey Logano on the radio, very upset. And as Spotter said, already Clint Boyer's spotter came over, or sorry, Ryan Newman's spotter came over to apologize for what happened. Joey said, that doesn't do me any good. That doesn't do any good, does it, Wally and Kyle? The apology after something like that.
No, not after something like that. Because you don't expect it. It's different if you're racing towards the end of the race or something else. But I don't think Joey expected that at all. He come up off the corner. The 15 car was plenty of room to the inside. They gave each other plenty of room. And he just got turned left.
Logano now back in 22nd. Not too bad for Boyer. He's hanging on to 13th. And Newman, who got it all started, right now in the 11th position. 13 laps since these drivers were on pit road. Denny Hamlin cannot run away from Jimmy Johnson. We'll follow the battle for the lead when we return to Kentucky on TNT.